Good evening, and welcome to another episode of Soul Talk, where we talk Star Citizen with members of the community. I had to bring in Griffin real quick, but this is new Soul in here, with the video. We posted Soul a couple of weeks ago, but it's called Psychology and Psychiatrist. That is a hard word to say, Griffin.
It's actually a made-up word, to be honest with you.
Let me put the link in Twitch chat.
Yeah, we're going to show it later in the show anyway. It's cool that we just opened it. We'll show it later on, right before the machinima, so that'll be fine. Everybody can get to see it who comes on a little later.
Okay. All right. But let me bring you in. Not sure why you didn't start this time, but yeah.
Well, good evening to everybody. Welcome to Soul Talk tonight. It's Fast Cards getting us together here. Want to say hello. We've got a lot of stuff to cover tonight, a lot of good stuff, as we are all anticipating and waiting to get more news on several things. One of them is the update 3.15 that everybody's waiting on. And tomorrow is actually a special day because CIG is supposed to be sharing information about the upcoming Digital Citizen Con that's going to be on October 9th. And then we've got an announcement to make about that as well tonight. So we got a lot to cover. And you know what, Fast Cart? We've got a really, 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 really good machinima tonight. In fact, Admiral Kusanagi, he also saw it and he was like, oh, this is definitely one we got to do. So I was excited about the one last week, but the one this week is an even bigger excitement for me. And I think people are really going to dig it. So there's a lot of stuff we got to cover tonight, but we can jump on into it. How was your week? Let me ask you that before we get any further.
My week was okay. I've been doing a lot of No Man's Sky. I think I put in too many hours already.
Yeah, you were talking Final Fantasy a lot, and now I'm hearing nothing but No Man's Sky these days. So I think it has kind of captured your attention a little bit. I've had a lot of fun with it. It's been really, I've been impressed. I've jumped in No Man's Sky when it first came out to see what it was like. I didn't pre-buy it. I got it after it came out. And, was like, okay, it wasn't all that we thought it was going to be. And then I almost want to say almost once or twice a year after that, I would jump in as they were putting out updates. And then I don't think I got in it. I got in it a little bit last year and then I just laid off of it. But I was keeping track of the fact that these updates were coming out. And now that they've had this new one come out, it just really seems like that the vision that we were told about back in 2013 is finally kind of coming to play in that game, and it's been a lot of fun. So I'm digging it so far. I'm taking my time with it. You guys have been like churning at it, but I'm kind of just cruising.
Yeah, I made almost 2 billion currency.
Really? Wow. Yeah, I think I'm just kind of cruising through it. I've got to the level now where I can make alloy houses, and that's about as far as I've gotten. And I haven't even built anything beyond my first house. I haven't left my first planet. So I'm just having a lot of fun with it, but hopefully I can get some more time in it. But
So are you ready, Griffin? Because I didn't forget.
Oh God, yeah. Let me brace myself. Let me get my drink now. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead, fire away.
I don't think you're going to recognize this one until the very last line. But Here we go. I suffer from aviophobia. It means fear of dying in something that flies. I may throw up on you. You think this is pretty safe? Don't panic to me, kid. One tiny crack in the hull, and our blood boils in 13 seconds. Solar flare might crop up, cook us in our seat. And wait till your city pretty in a case of Xeon Single, and see if you're still relaxed when your eyeballs are bleeding. Face the disease and danger wrapped in darkness and silence. I know the UEE operates in space. I got nowhere else to go. The X-Files took everything, took the whole planet into the void. All I got left is my bones.
All I've got left is my what?
Yeah, Black Guy Legion got it. My bones.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, okay. The boiling part was the part that got me. So I that's the part I remember about the blood boiling. Very cool. Mm-hmm. Nice adaptation for the Star Wars community, Star Citizen community. Star Citizen community.
Star Citizen, Star Trek, Star Wars. It's all the same thing, right?
I know. My mind was on Star Wars. I've been plowing through the Rebels still, and I was going to comment about it, but that I'm really, really digging Rebels. I thought I wasn't going to like Rebels as much as Clone Wars, but I'm actually liking Rebels a lot.
Yeah, I never watched Clone Wars, but I did watch Rebels. I have to go back and watch Clone Wars, but yeah, I enjoyed it.
Oh, dude, yeah, you got to do it. It's worth it. Trust me, it is truly worth it.
The thing is, I know there's two versions of Clone Wars, and I don't want to start off with the wrong ones.
Well, there's the movie, right? And then there's the series. And I'm not talking about those other, because they got several animations. There's like 2 or 3 other ones. But the one that, the main series, it's 7 seasons long. Watch that one. Trust me, the writing is amazing. And you just kind of get mad at Disney and say, why didn't you guys just stick with, obviously it's Filoni in them, right? It's the same guys, right? So you already know what it's going to be like. You know what it's going to be like. Anyway, I have belabored my point.
Yeah, let's bring people in because we got a lot of stuff to go through.
Down, and we can get the crack in here. Where's my broadcast channel? There we go. All right. We've got tonight with us Admiral Kusanagi. We've got Pops in Space, Jay, Dark Knight, Spitfire, and who am I missing? Somebody I didn't mention. Who didn't I mention? Did I mention somebody? Was that everybody?
Kusanagi, Dark Knight, Fish, Jay, Pops.
Yeah, okay, yeah, okay. How's everybody doing?
I ain't gonna tell you.
Pretty good.
You gonna be like that, Pops? You gonna be like that, Pops?
Nah, you know how we are. We there. You don't even have to mention that.
All right, otherwise I'm going to send you another castor oil sale. You know what I'm saying?
See, don't tell everybody I'm backed up now.
I know. I sent it to him last week and he fell out laughing. Yeah.
Because if you do that, then I get the collateral damage.
Oh, okay.
Fair enough. Well, it's good to have everybody here tonight. Okay.
Right,
let's jump on in.
I gotta bring this back up real quick in order to grab Griffin. Oops. I'm messing all over the place. Well, let me grab you.
Whoa. What happened to the video?
This is me. No, it's on my end because I didn't copy the scene correctly.
Oh, okay, gotcha. That's what happens. Sometimes we copy old stuff.
Yep.
There we go. Awesome sauce.
All right.
Alrighty.
So copy. Go to sneak peek. He said, "Aren't you working?"
You got it. You got it. It's there.
Okay, but this is this week's sneak peek. Let me go back and copy.
Yeah, don't worry about me. I'll talk while you're doing that.
Okay.
It just changed again. Anyway, did you guys see the sneak peek for this week? Did you guys get a chance to see it?
Oh no.
The grain?
All right, FC just had it up a second ago. Yeah, there was a person standing over, it looked like some bags of grain. Something to that effect. We'll have it back on screen in a second. FC, bring it. Don't worry about it. Just bring it back up. You can put me in later. You can put me in later. They don't need to see me. They need to see the grain.
Oh, yeah. This is the sneak peek. Now I'm just a basket case.
Mm-hmm. That was the title to it.
That was the title.
Any thoughts?
Feeds.
Farming.
Yeah, definitely something.
That's not seeds. That's cereal talk.
Oh, yeah, you're right about that. Corn, sugar pop. Sugar pops. That's what it is.
Smacks.
Yeah, smacks. That's probably better.
You know what it reminds me of?
You gotta get some milk somewhere, but Jade, I know you don't do milk, right?
No, I don't do milk on cereal.
You don't do milk.
Almond milk? No.
Oh, slow down, guys. Let's go sell cereal. What were you saying, Admiral? You were trying to say something. What were you saying?
I'm sorry. I was just saying that it reminded the color of like the metal there in the background and the gray wall reminds me of the picture from the other week when it said that this is we thought it was like some type of landing gear, but it said like this can tip over. So I was it kind of makes me think it's in the same setting.
It reminded me of the door that we saw a few weeks ago too, which was kind of that same off gray green. Remember, we couldn't figure out what the door was. Somebody said they thought it may have been at a homestead or something.
Yeah, this is very homesteady.
But the grain here is just very interesting, and if we have to eat this stuff to keep alive.
Well, that could be it, or is it something that CIG is hinting toward the agriculture career? You know, I mean, as we always talk about, CIG doesn't usually put things in games unless they mean something. So do you think that maybe farming or something projecting down the road? Maybe.
Yeah. Way back when they had that 3.0 roadmap, they had farming on it. So.
That's true.
But we haven't heard a lot about it.
That's a good point, Jade. I forgot about that. You're right. Yeah. Okay.
Make a lot of Endeavor people happy with the doesn't the Endeavor have like a farm section?
Yeah, it sure does. That's right.
You ready to say that? Yeah. Botanicals, right?
Love machines,
That's right.
agricultural games.
I'm not trying to tease Raymar. I'm just saying, hey, there's grain there, and it looks like the person's interacting with it. So you know.
I mean, we do have a digital citizen con coming up in 2 weeks, so it could be related to that. Who knows?
Oh, I would think anything we see is going to be in relation to that. No, there's no question about that.
Absolutely.
What do you think that thing is? What do you think that thing is in the background? Anybody got any ideas of what that is? Because is it a scale
or
is
table? At first I thought it was a gun, but it's a table.
I think it's just a table. Yeah.
It's just a table with a couple of bowls on it.
Yeah, because it has too much depth. It has too much depth for it to be a gun or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, but it has an industrial look. So
it has an industrial look. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It could be
it kind of looks like it could be a conveyor belt of some sort, but there's nothing on the other side of it. So
it's just a table. But I don't know what the buttons are for though.
And the location is definitely a new location. Yeah. That's not someplace in game right now. So that's interesting.
Yeah. And there's the machinery look, maybe it could be some type of storage container, the silver and the red.
Well, let me ask you guys another stupid question here. Those bags kind of are more of a throwback to a rural feel, right? I mean, you would think in the future, why wouldn't they be using some type of metal containers or something? I'm even kind of curious as to why they're using
grain sacks,
like a sack. Yeah, you know, that's
this is
first
lack of imagination. I'm sorry, but
I the basket.
I mean, like I noticed a lot. Why are we still using what looked like '90s laptops in the 30th century? Because that's what we know how to make.
That's how much power they have in them.
Because retro always comes back.
It goes retro.
That's interesting.
You know what? Let me ask you. Can I throw something in here? Because I know we talk about a lot of we're in the 30th century. But maybe sometimes, like when you see in Star Trek, right? They do visit planets that have not advanced.
Right. Could be.
I was getting ready to say that.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be. Yeah.
Same exact words. Yeah. They may be on a planet that's not advanced.
A planet that's not advanced, it has starships, but they have to use burlap sacks. Okay.
Well, no, what he's saying
visiting another culture, I think they're saying.
Right, that's what I mean. Like if you're visiting somewhere, you know, first contact or whatever, they're looking at something. I don't know, you know what I mean? Just kind of throwing it in there, you know.
Yeah, burlap sacks are functional and they're low weight, and you know, so it's cheap to get there. Yeah. And they just serve a purpose. So you don't have to have like brushed aluminum and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It didn't say it has to be brushed aluminum, but I think after nearly 1,000 years, you could do better than grown fabric in order. I mean, we already have better bags now than.
Well, there's a saying we old folks say. It's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, but like, if it's not broke, you know, why did we invent plastic? There were a lot of other materials we could have used.
And look what I got today.
There was nothing wrong with them.
That was a bad human decision.
Material science moves on.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see how that all unveils in the long run. So, okay. Very cool.
Meanwhile, this is something Griffin posted. I'll play this real quick. Let me share.
Wait. Oh, is that what you're going to show? Okay. All right. Go ahead.
This is what I meant to say.
Yeah, let's talk about this a little bit here too, is because it's a lead-in for the ship showdown.
Exactly.
But this was put out right before the Argo won the ship showdown, so show it everybody. Let them take a look at it. Make sure we have audio for it.
Hopefully, you have audio.
That's right.
budget dropship.
No, I'm saying all of when you have a clown car, all the people piling the car. Concept.
That's the first thing I thought of when I saw all those people come out of it.
Yeah. Oh, I got that on loop, but I thought that was pretty cute. I gave him a like for that one. That was pretty cute. I put the link in in Twitch chat.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
they hopped out like a clown car and got back in like a clown car.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's great.
All right.
Well, that can segue us right into that subject matter, right?
Yeah.
The
Ship Showdown.
Yeah, Ship Showdown. Anybody surprised? Anybody not surprised about the end results of the contest?
I'm disappointed.
I'm not, though, be honest. I kind of called it a little bit. We were talking to FC yesterday, I think it was. I said, because at the time the Argo was ahead, and I said, you know what? I think it's going to have a late surge.
Yeah, the MSR was actually leading for quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean that's right. That's right. I'm sorry. Right, the MSR was leading right at the time, and I was like, you know what? I believe it's going to have a late surge, and it's going to pull ahead.
Yeah. Let me ask the question: do you guys think that there's any? What are your feelings about the argument of that this was about a meme? There were some people who felt like the fact that the ships like the Carrack and other ships were we know they're better ships, that this kind of ruined it for some folk. Some people were about being able to get the skins. What do you think? I mean, some people even talked about the fact that whether or not it made any difference because whether the contest was even balanced from the very beginning.
Wasn't Carrack a meme as well? Like for all those years that it wasn't out, like every ship in this game can be a meme. Right? So the meme was strong this year. And of course the Argo would win. This is the year of the Argo MPVV. The people that don't like it, there's always next year. You can vote for that Pisces.
There you go.
No, next year it's gonna be the trolley. Mark my word. I'm gonna make a meme for the trolley. They're gonna catch on.
Well, they told us right off the bat. Tyler said the trolley is not happening. He said that right off the bat.
I throw my little 2 cents in. See, my thing is okay as far as getting a paint skin and all that other stuff. I mean, the game is not even out there yet. Plus, me and Fast Car were talking about it, like with what was it, Cousins Crows. I apologize if I'm messing that name up, but you'll have that functionality when the game comes, and you never know. It may even have more functionality where you'll be able to customize your ship and the paint to your ship, to your liking. So you never know.
All right. So the final score between the cargo and the runner was 18,211 votes for the cargo and 18,037 votes for the MSR. Almost 200 votes in between.
It's tight.
174. Yeah.
Tight.
I just want to. So I don't want to get off the meme thing real quick. I just want to say that yes, there's a lot of people like pushing this meme. There are a lot of content providers pushing the meme, but there was also like a lot of people who were like, interested in the future aspects of this ship. Like I was pushing this as many places I could throw it. I had almost 1,000 views just on Spectrum. And I had a guy say, I wish I actually saw this before I voted for the Mercury SR because I would have voted for the Argo. And the idea is that this is supposed to be a ship that is used in the Hull series. It is used on the Orions, and it already is. Like they already have it on the website. That's good. Yes, it has the cargo variant, which is like 3 SCU or 2 or 3 SCU, and then you've got the passenger variant. And they're already talking. They already have on paper about a rescue variant. So it's supposed to have like a Cutlass Red bed in there, in one of the packages, so one of the modules. So that's what I want them to talk about it. Like that's why I voted for it, because I want SIG to say this is what this ship is supposed to do in the future. Because I get so much feedback. Some people saying that it's fluff, that it's lore, and it doesn't really mean anything, or that it's just hanger flare. And I'm like,
lore always means something with Star Citizen. That's a basis for a lot of what they create in the game.
Well, if the backer was from 2013, and I was surprised, and I'm like, I think you're just going to be rudely. I think you're going to be quite surprised when you see what happens, and I left it at that.
Yeah.
So I'm happy it won. I'm hoping Sig gives a 1-minute Twitch video on it because I think it really needs an actual person like talking to the video screen and people watching them because people don't read it and expect it to be true.
Yeah.
As a Levski resident, I am very happy that the underdog. And when you think about it from a lore standpoint, it makes sense that a ship like this would eventually win a competition like this because you got to remember, we as players, we're like the top 10 or 1% in terms of the economy of Star Citizen. Most of those NPCs would be flying those Argos around at work and stuff. They wouldn't be, going off under 300 eyes. So eventually, the people would end up voting for the ship that they get their work done in.
I'm going to push back a little bit on it because the meme was so strong this year for the Argo. I think the MSR was the underdog here.
I don't think it was the underdog because I think that a lot of people thought that the MSR was going to be the one that was ultimately going to win. Once the C2 got pushed out, the MSR is a really popular ship. I know for me, I pushed the meme a lot, but I didn't push it because of the meme. I pushed it because, one, I thought it was fun to push the challenge a little bit because, sometimes, we were talking about this last week, putting the, what ship was it? Was it it was some ship that was against the Razor. What was it? Was it the 600 against the Razor it was some
this time?
The scale? What was it?
This time?
Yeah,
the Mercury
time.
SR. Yeah, that was the Razor.
Yeah, the MSR against the Razor, right? I mean at the very beginning. Very beginning.
The Razor and the Mercury.
The MSR.
The MSR and the Razor.
Yeah, so there's no balance there, right? And we've been trying to figure out what is CIG, why do they pick the ships as they do, right? Because we're not really seeing a complete correlation. But I think what I did really like about this particular one was that it made a greater awareness for some people about Argo. To both Kusanagi and Jade's points about lore, I think that more and more, and I'm hoping more and more, that people who are into Star Citizen will start to realize that Star Citizen is definitely a different game. And that lore is very important to this game. A lot of times I think people have jumped into it, and some of them are unaware of how important the lore is. Some of them know about it. Some of them have been around a long time and never spent the time, because there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot to take in relation to Star Citizen, whether it's keeping track of how many ships there are. Like some people can keep track of the lore. Some other people can take care of, what the guns there are in the thing. Everybody doesn't keep up with the lore, but we have hinted even on our show about the importance. I think Jade said this a second ago about how important Argo is to the functionality in the game. I mean, the transports, freight movement. And I like the fact that this ship was highlighted because it's a ship that has been dismissed. And I don't mean just dismissed because its functionality isn't there. I'm saying it's just been dismissed, that the importance of the ship has been totally lost. Thank you so much, CC Creator, for that resub. We appreciate that. Thank you. So I'm actually happy that it was brought to light. I think there was a great video put out on Info Runners that had Paul Shelley and the guys on Info Runners talked about the background. So if you guys haven't looked at that video, please take a look at it, because you'll start to understand how important the Argo is, particularly these small ones. We're not talking about like the mole and stuff. Even though the company is important, even these small shuttles have a lot of importance in the game. And so I think I think the fact that it brought some awareness to it, even though there are a lot of people who don't get me wrong, the meme truly had an effect on it. A lot of people had fun. Some people was doing it strictly for fun. I thought in the beginning it was about fun, but later on I was like, no, this ship does need to be recognized. And I thought that was a very cool thing. So
Griff, you mentioned that video with them, and they actually, Info Runners talked about how they think the Adrift has 3 spots for the Argo.
Mm-hmm.
They think there's actually 3 separate locations that 3 different parking spaces for the MPUVs. And that made me think that, because when the Javelin Tour came out, they have these giant doors on both sides of the ship, on either side of the ship, and there's like 12 big doors, and they're all labeled 1 through 12. And I think that those are for Argos.
It could be.
So
it could be.
I think it's a very important ship.
Yeah. Some of you remember when we first saw the Morrow tour, that was the first ship we saw.
Yeah.
It was an Argo. That first time we saw it was
we
in
saw
there.
the big ship first, then the Argo.
Well, okay, Fast Card. We saw the big ship first, then we saw the Argo. Yes, that's true. That is true.
I had to think about that for a moment. But do you mind if we went through the final four? Because they deserve some recognition,
let's
too.
do it.
Because
let's talk about it.
Yeah, so if we had the C2 versus the Argo. We know how that went. But I'll get the results up regardless. The C2 Hercules had 12,894 votes. The Cargo had 13,399 votes. So, no surprise there between those. Well, I don't want to say no surprise. It was around this time for me that I was like, okay, the meme is real. It could go all the way. It could go all the way. But when the Cargo won that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a question for everyone else. When did you think the Cargo could go all the way? Like, was there a certain moment, or right from the beginning?
Mm-mm. I figured it was going to crash at the MSR. To be honest with you, when it beat the C2, I figured it would. When it got up a little higher than that, that's when I got spooky. What about you guys?
I'm with you, Griff. When it beat the MSR.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, the MSR was the last round, but I mean,
Which one?
That was the point. I didn't think it was going to go all the way.
you didn't? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Me neither. Yeah.
I thought it was going to go to the end. Well, I mean, because they had so many against the Carrack.
Mm-hmm.
The MPV had 15,800, and the Carrack had 15,600 and change.
Mm-hmm.
And really, the MPV won over the Hercules with only 13.3. But the Hercules itself only had 12.8. So I mean, if the same, it's just the voters who showed up, is the deciding difference. And when you look at, and still with the Hercules and that MPUV, the MPV only won by 0.96%, not even 1 full percent. And that's the same thing with the race or today. It won by 0.24%. That's it.
I was happy with getting in the final four, personally.
Thank you, Jade, for the link. Griffin posted it. She got it.
You're welcome.
Mm-hmm.
But up next was the 600i versus the MSR. So the 600i had 7,837 votes. MSR had 14,148 votes. So almost twice as much.
Mm-hmm.
So I was pulling for the MSR, to be honest. But those are the final four: the MSR, 600i, and the Cargo, and the C2. So those were all weekend skins for IAE in November.
All I have to say is I don't have to pay $25,000 to get a skin for my 600.
Yeah, exactly. Finally.
And let's pray that the skins are good. Please, let's pray that the skins are good.
God,
Yeah.
Wait. Okay, here's my thing. I looked at all of the ships. 3 of them are white. They better not give us a white skin.
Right?
They better not.
Yeah. Yeah, but I hope they don't give us no crazy colors. I haven't been too crazy happy with some of the colors they've been putting out recently. Well, the schemes, I should say. The colors are nice, but the schemes have been kind of whack for me. So we'll see how it goes.
They all orange been color. White, like since the very first one wasn't.
Yeah, they had white.
It was like white and magenta. Then it was white and gold.
Yeah. Let's see. We'll see.
And then they had the purple and black, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, they did have black and blue. That's right. I do remember that IAE.
That was for IAE though. Yeah, was that IAE? Yeah.
Yeah, that was from the Showdown though. That was from the Showdown window.
Was it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, isn't it like the colors of the IAE?
Yeah, no, those are the IAE numbers. Those weren't Showdown colors. Those were IAE colors. That black and blue.
Okay,
maybe I misremember.
Because that was the last ones we got. Because that white and gold was last year.
Yeah, that was the best in show.
Mm-hmm. And I like that color.
And it was nice. It looked great on the Carrack. It looked great on the cutting. I mean, it was beautiful.
Dude, I loved it on the Eclipse. That was beautiful.
Oh yeah, the Eclipse. Oh
yeah,
man.
I was a little disappointed in is that the one with had like the yellow windscreen from the outside?
Yeah, it was like the yellowish gold.
But then when you went inside, it looked normal. And I'm like, oh man, I could really use this to actually be functional, because you go to some planets and like you can't see anything.
They haven't invented polarized glass yet.
We need to work on it.
Oh, by the way, we forgot to mention, if anyone else wants to come in and chat with us, the Discord link is down below, so please feel free to join us.
Absolutely.
But next up, we have, in relation to the Showdown, we have a free fly going on, so you can fly the top 4 ships until what day? Until September 27th. I'm gonna put the link in Twitch chat. So,
And I urge everybody to try that Argo because I know you don't own one.
yeah, all right. I'll hop in the game and try it out.
Seriously, it's a fun little ship. Like, yeah. And it's
one of
pretty,
those quantum jump,
Yeah.
those quantum missions in it.
yeah.
Fox mission, those are fun to do in that one. You could just sit back and relax, and who knows, you know?
Yeah. Hide some quantum cargo in it and put it in a bigger ship. Then
Or put it in
you
a
gotta
bigger
use
ship.
for it.
FC, do you mind if we skip the Xeno threat tonight?
Oh, I was gonna read.
We've been on Xeno threat for the last
but
3
okay,
weeks.
sure.
Yeah, we've been on Xeno threat the last 3 weeks. I mean, unless it's something particularly you want to highlight. That's all. If something you want to
No, not
highlight,
really.
that's fine. Okay.
I want to just say something about it.
Sure.
Just real quick, if you don't mind.
Sure.
That infographic, first of all, I love CIG's infographics. They are amazing. Please keep them coming, whoever's in charge of that. I just wanted to point out one thing since we talked recently about PvP versus PvE. The PvE deaths were 2,238,217, and the PvP deaths were 66,242.
Can you
That's
go
all.
back to it, Fast Car? Go back to those numbers for her, please. Those are good.
Yeah,
you were zooming through it. You were zooming through it.
Yeah, because I didn't think we were going to spend time on it.
Yeah, that's okay. That's what she was talking about there.
Yeah, that's all. I just thought that was an interesting stat. That's all.
Very interesting.
Since we're on this, though, who would have thought the Anvil Hurricane would have became an MVP out
Not
of this?
me. Not me.
Being in GoMap.
Yeah, they were out there in it.
Fine.
For sure.
All right.
Ever since that rework of combat,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, me
But look-
and Pops and me and GoMap.
And look at what else stepped up, though. Remember the Connie? It got new life. So that jumped back in, too. The Hammerhead, obvious. That's pretty straightforward.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting, though, that the Saber is in there over all the fighters.
Yeah, I don't quite understand that, honestly.
Yeah.
That's for AI kills. For the it's still below the Retaliator for player kill.
Now,
Well, if you can't see it,
say this. For the Retaliator, I was surprised that you can use the nose of it like a torpedo.
You said that before.
Yeah, that is
The Retaliator. The Retaliator has 7 torpedoes. You fire 6 and you are number 7.
Exactly. I had no idea. I said, you know what? I'm just gonna Geronimo this thing.
He's so funny. Okay.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So next up, we have the Loremakers Guide to Regeneration.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is interesting because this is an update to Death of a Spaceman. Did anyone have a chance to go over it?
I did. A lot of information.
Yeah. Yeah, just real quick, what they did, folks, and it's kind of a long article, but what they did was they gave an update to the Death of a Spaceman concept that Chris Roberts introduced into how people would live and die in the game. And what they basically told us was that the lore team went back and kind of did a little bit of tweaking to that and created their own dynamic based around Chris's original vision. One of the things that's really cool in here is that they put in a terminology list, imprint, regeneration. Is it, and Jada asked for your help on this. Is it Ibrahim Spear?
Ibrahim, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Traumatic response, echo, TRE, imprint viability scores, regen, cycle, gap, biotic corp regen serum, being white and dead, kill, murder, etc. Spend some time taking a look at these terms because these are the terms that we're going to be referencing and using in game. But it's really cool to see that the lore team, as always, put a lot of energy and effort into kind of tying up all the loose ends when it comes to dying and, of course, healing and other things in Star Citizen. Anybody who got a chance to look at it got any thoughts on it?
There is some space magic in that.
Mhm.
Because it's like, okay, you give your DNA,
Mhm.
and if you over time it can lose like its percentages or whatnot. It won't be like
degenerates.
100%. You know, it could be like 99.8 because you haven't
Mhm.
been there in like 3 months or whatever.
Mhm.
But if you get hurt, like somehow the system picks up on this, and this is a Vandal originally found system,
Mhm.
and so what happens is if it says in there, if you crush your legs, like when you quote unquote respawn or regenerate, well, your body somehow remembers that, and so then
Mhm.
you'll have to have like replacement limbs.
Mhm.
So that's where like these metal arms and bionic eyes going to come back from. So it isn't like a get out of jail free card and infinitely. It's just that they're trying to like make it so that people, especially the new people, won't have to just die and then just lose their character like from the get-go.
Mhm.
And they're working into the lore.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question to you guys. Do you think that people will dread the idea of dying or want the idea of dying so that they can come back, quote unquote, maybe better? What do you all think? What will keep people from
in game?
In
I'm
my
curious. Mhm.
in my opinion, honestly, it's going to be it all depends on what you want to do and what you're wanting to accomplish. Because I mean, technically, eventually, you could just be like, "Yeah, I'm on 27 cycle," but yeah, I may have died 27 times, but I've got like 75 people.
Mhm. They talked about the fact that there was only going to be so many times you can use that DNA.
Oh yeah. They said that eventually it degrades, and then you have to basically get like succession.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I'm just kind of curious. Well, for some people, I guess what will be the balance that will make people not want to die, right? Will it be the fact that if you die, you lose some form of reputation or ability? What's going to make people say, because my question is, is it maybe better to become more mechanical? Maybe if I die 2 or 3 times, it's great because I'll be stronger, faster. What's going to be the balance between that?
Well, me specifically, I don't want a character with a new name. I just want to be fast card and keep myself a fast card. If my character as fast card dies, my new character won't be fast card.
You'll be fast card the 5th and fast card the 6th.
That's the same though. I want to be fast card the original.
Fast card junior, fast card the 3rd. You just go down the line. That's all you got to do.
It might be
I'm wondering what
stronger.
the penalty is. I've always been curious since I've heard about it. What is the penalties that are going to go along with it?
Yeah.
I don't have a real opinion until I know the penalties.
I was going to say it's been discussed before what kind of that, but this new lore update with regeneration kind of makes at least me question, okay, in the kind of penalties they've talked about before, what's going away, what's coming in type thing,
Yep. Well, we'll find out. I'm sure CIG knows and is thinking about how they will balance this out. What are the pros and cons? I'm sure there are some on both sides, but I'm just hoping that I'm sure they won't. I'm sure they won't create a situation, because I know they've talked about, there were some people back in the day who were saying they were hoping that they could make their body 90-80% mechanical, right? Because in their minds they think that their character is going to be much better if they do that.
Longer.
Right.
Slower though.
Right. And CIG had told us that they will never allow us to be 100%. But again, I'm wondering whether there will be stressors. There could be things that they could put in the game, such as, for example, your body taking shock, that each time you do it and you add one of these mechanical limbs, there's a possibility of failure and that you will actually die the more you do it. Kind of like when people do plastic surgery and you keep doing it, gets worse. There could be some dynamic like that.
I think it says it in there.
Does it in relation to the mechanics?
That regenning actually is like a shock or something to that effect.
Right. Regenning is, but I'm referring to getting the limbs, whether or not adding a new implant, that you're taking a risk every time you add a new implant to your body.
You might wind up like the Tin Man. You may run out of oil.
Yeah, there you go.
Little rust there, you know.
Yeah, don't go out in the rain.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you imagine,
Looking
like,
for your heart.
and the thing is, that it's been brought before, but what happens when someone set up an EMP around you?
That's a good question. That's a very good question.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be a factor.
Yeah,
Could
Now-
be
Your
a
whole
factor.
body just lock up.
Just a thought on this.
An
Now,
EMP gun.
think
Pistol.
about this. That gives a whole new meaning to remember the racing vehicles having EMP?
Mhm.
Just in the middle of a battle where you know that there's some people who have mechanical augments, you just basically yeet this Cyclone RC into the middle of the fray and just set off an EMP in your enemy's ranks.
Yeah. Or, I mean, even if someone doesn't know it, how about this? You take the chance of doing it with anybody who's piloting a ship, even, right? That's an interesting thing. That if they make that, I mean, that could be a casualty of having those type of limbs. It would be interesting. It'd be very cool too. Don't let the guy with one arm fly your ship. Yeah, don't let the guy with one arm fly your ship.
I fly a ship with one arm all the time. It's no problem. I want to have voice attack. I'm good.
Okay, there you go.
But I wanted to bring something up from the previous segment about the free fly. Ship packages are $5 off with 24 months insurance. So if you know someone who wants to get in, they can you can buy a package for $40 instead of $45 and have 24 months insurance instead of 6.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be surprised if they, in another month or two, they have a 5-year insurance or 10-year insurance.
Mm-hmm.
No, only for special occasions, though. I don't think it's going to be a permanent thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Alrighty then.
Right, so let's go to the roadmap next. And the roadmap this time is pretty quick. Do you have it up, Griffin?
Yeah, okay. Absolutely. Yeah, as Fastcard said, there's only a few things in it for the release view this time around. This is for September 22nd. These features have passed their final review for 3.15. For this reason, we've updated these cards to committed and changed their color to blue, which means all systems go. And that's going to be Rest Stop, Space Station Clinics, the Orison Hospital, and the new Babbage Hospital. Those health facilities will be operational in 3.15. Let's see. Also, there was some changes. The Outpost Homestead, Independent and Outlaw, discussions around when new outpost destinations will come online are being revisited. Therefore, we have temporarily removed this card from the roadmap until these discussions conclude. What's really been cool about that? Well, you know what? I was going to say, what's really been cool about that is almost every time they've done that so far, within the next one or two of these roadmaps, it's back on the map. It hasn't been a long time. So it's good that they're just saying we're reassessing, which is cool.
I do hope that they bring it back by the time Nyx is in the game.
Definitely.
Personally.
Definitely. Yeah. Definitely. Okay.
Do you mind if we take this question? Because it's related to the ship showdown.
Sure. Let's do it.
Before we go to ISE. But Black Guy Legion. Hey, Kai. He asked, regardless of reasoning, every person gets a vote, right? See who is anyone to tell another that their reason is invalid. One back or one vote. No. I think that's a little tongue-in-cheek from Kai there, but given all the... Because Tyler had to put out a tweet saying, we see all the people who are making the alt accounts. We see you.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And he said that even with the alt accounts, it wouldn't have made a difference on the count. They said it wouldn't have made a difference anyway. Yep.
That, but I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
That's what they said. Go figure. Okay.
All right.
So
go ahead.
I have my own opinions, and I'm going to leave it at like 2 sentences that I'm about to say. Basically, yes, this was a highly contentious ship showdown from a lot of different, very passionate people, if you know what I mean. But I mean, honestly, we still have to remember it's a game, okay? So don't let that spoil your experience if this was your first introduction to the game,
I don't think it was the new people that were feeling salty. I think it was more the veteran players that were feeling kind of funky about the showdown. But your point's well taken.
Yeah, it was mostly because of the free fly going on with the ship showdown.
Yeah.
I just hope that people's first experiences, if they came in during this free fly, weren't degraded by people memeing and being salty on both sides and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I flew my Argo around Port Olisar to celebrate.
Woohoo!
I got shot at.
You know
but
what
I
you
didn't
need? You know what you needed, Jade?
Tough little ship.
They got to come up with the fireworks that you can fire from your ship. That's what you need to have next,
absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Coffee Gaming, thanks for the 11 months.
Oh wow! Thank you, Coffee.
Coffee.
Good to see Coffee. Coffee. I saw your meme that you put in with my head bobbing on it.
My bad.
Oh, no, that was Mad Style. That wasn't Coffee. That was Mad Style. I'm attributing it to the wrong person. I was scheming through the Discord today, and I saw someone made a meme of me, and I'm like, oh my god, that's scary.
I should put that up now. Do it later.
No, please don't. Please don't. Okay.
Raymond wants to know, was your MPV shot at by an MSR, Jay?
No, it was someone in a hawk, of all things. So, yeah.
Oh my god. That's funny.
It was funny.
Beware the imp.
That is funny.
I had my Star Kitten helmet on, too. I started to just get out and, just mock them. But
there you go. Okay.
So, next up, we had the Inside Star Citizen. It's titled Purport. So it's like 17 minutes long. So we're going to go like halfway, about 9 minutes in, and then pause, then and talk about it, then go to the next half. So
cool.
Here we go.
Hi all, me again. 3 weeks in a row at the top of the show. It must be CitizenCon travel season. Now, with our last 2 episodes devoted entirely to game-altering healing and inventory changes coming online in the upcoming Alpha 3.15, we thought we'd spend this week looking even further ahead with an episode I like to call, Oops, All Sprint Report. At least that's what I'm going to call it until I can figure out a word that rhymes with report. The season is rhyming titles. I don't know if you've noticed it. Anyway, let's get to it. Starting things off this week, let's go with the EUPU feature team. Now, as part of their work on loot generation, the EUPU FT has been working on a variety of locked crates for players to discover throughout the persistent universe, like some that would require use of a cutting tool to open, or in this case, combination lock you'll have to secure the solution for elsewhere in your travels. 1, 2, 3, 4. Amanda, remind me to change the combination on my luggage. The same team has been working on laser trip mines, feature requested by our turbulent team in Montreal to help make the exploration of derelicts throughout the verse just a little more exciting and dangerous than ever before. One of the big things to work out, besides proximity detonations, was to properly physicalize any of the items being used to detonate them, like these boxes, so that they react to the force of the explosions themselves. Now, these crates are currently at a high health value for testing, but you can expect them to be tuned just a little bit, so they too will be damaged or destroyed when used in this manner. And then, of course, when physicalized damage comes online later down the road, the lifespan of these crates will simply be determined by things like material makeup and construction type. While this test level is designed just to play with a multitude of ways for disposing of mines, this is also a pre-VFX pass, so you can expect things like the lasers and effects you're witnessing to continue to evolve beyond what you're seeing here. And because the team is smart and has played online video games before, they're also experimenting with the potential of Rube Goldberg chain reactions that will inevitably be created by players. Because why kill someone with a single explosion when you can use 7? That's what Grandma always said. Checking in with the UI team, they've recently completed a sprint converting the ASOP terminals we all know and tolerate from their original Flash implementations to everyone's favorite building blocks. Now, while the overall look here may appear similar at this moment, this switchover will not only allow us to improve the styling and functionality of it going forward, but also make it much easier to fix many of the bugs that have plagued ASOP over the years. Also, it'll just run faster in building blocks instead of Flash. And when it comes to performance in a game this big, every win counts. In other screen news, a smaller task completed recently was the addition of disconnection screens for a variety of monitors throughout Squadron 42 and the Persistent Universe. Now, while many screens already have a variety of states such as on and off, damaged, or disconnected, when that signal was disconnected previously, they just kinda appeared no different than the off state. Sure, it's a small thing, but just like the performance gains replacing Flash, these smaller interaction states are what often add up to make a universe that behaves and feels as players expect them to. And that's called immersion. Go ahead and drink.
Thanks, Jared.
Next up, the UI team also completed a first pass at some of the interfaces for EUPU's upcoming mining gadgets. Items we've discussed previously that can be placed directly onto the bigger or more formidable asteroids that will allow players to tackle the mineable foes they otherwise may not be able to, or to simply improve the results on others they can. They're also a neat example of some of the ways the style sheet functionality of building blocks can make similar interfaces look different depending on the manufacturer. Keep an eye on the public roadmap for when mining gadgets will make their way into the Persistent Universe. Moving on over to characters, if you've ventured throughout the Persistent Universe, I'm sure that you've noticed the growing amount of branded locations popping up here and there, but with the employees wearing seemingly random outfits. Well, the time on the sprint wheel has come to begin early look dev on branded uniforms for those NPCs you encounter. The idea here is to create a series of modular options where the color palette and logo can be easily swapped from place to place, or even unlogoed to be used for random food carts, or maybe even the surgeons and Grimhex. You know those folks don't have certifications, right? Ian, I'm begging. Please let me walk into a hospital in Grimhex and see a dude with a bloody whammer's apron on doing work. I don't ask for a lot. Sometimes I do. The character team has also been developing a system for what we call Theta Geo, which is additive geometry that only appears when one or more items in a set are combined on the player. It's like the reverse of zone culling, which some of you might remember hides the puffy shirts from clipping through and appearing outside of the slim jacket you wear on top of it. What Theta Geo allows us to do is to maintain modularity that allows you to wear almost any helmet with any chest or arms or legs you want, but add a specific visual flair when you choose to wear armor or clothing of the same thematic set. Now you can see here a player character already wearing the upcoming RRS Light Specialist helmet while equipping a non-matching torso. This works as normal. Helmet from one set, torso from another. But when the player equips the matching RRS torso found in box number 2, the additive cowl that's part of the helmet is now displayed. It's tech like this that will serve to unlock our character artists to go bigger and bolder in their designs than ever before. And speaking of the new RRS Light Specialist armor, let's go ahead and take a look at it in action. If you want to learn more about the new RSS Light Specialist armor, you might want to check out the new Digital CitizenCon webpage that goes live tomorrow. Hint, hint. Meanwhile, the vehicle experience team has been working on several features, including bombing, which we'll discuss next week and beyond. But here's a fun look at progress on the new eject cam. Whee! and a look at the ongoing progress of integrating actor status intoxication effects into vehicle operation, such as applying them to the player's control of their spaceship. Now in the debug text you can see in the upper left, the raw reading is what the player is actually doing with their controls. And for these demonstration purposes, that's not much or barely anything at all. But the number to the left of that is the actual values being applied by your player character to the ship by their sluggish and imprecise reflexes. Yeah, don't drink and fly, my friends. But definitely do walk up behind your pilot in a Hercules or a Constellation and shoot that new healing drug ray of yours at the back of their head for some real happy fun times. Tell them Disco sent you. And if intoxication and atmosphere isn't enough, here it is in space. And in ground vehicles. And finally, even in turrets, where some of us can still work pretty well like this. Hi, Steve Bender. Flying along, as ship Showdown barrels.
Okay, so that was the first half. Mute it and put it back on loop. So let's get some thoughts from people. Oh, we got Karate just came in. Did you want to come in, Karate, or did I drag you down for no reason?
Dragging down for no reason. I'm just joking. Hey, everyone.
Hi.
So do you want to go back up, or?
Oh no, don't worry. I'm totally prepared.
Okay.
Karate, I am going to mute though because your keyboard's coming through. Okay.
Oh, I'm not typing at the moment. Oh, it's
okay.
probably my water. Oops.
All right. So Kusanagi, let's go in order. What are your thoughts?
Too much to talk about. I guess
you just pick one or two because we got a lot to go through tonight.
Well, let me think. Okay, so the bomb for the asteroids looked really cool. I liked how the fact they had all these like toggle switches and stuff like that. And obviously they'll probably go off of the mechanics of that for the breaching devices for doors.
Okay.
Something like
All right, Dark Knight, you around?
Yep, I am here. So let's see. I like the uniforms; those are cool. So you'll be Elroy's coffee barista. Maybe that'll be a job for somebody in the verse. Give me a mocha soy. But yeah, I like that. It was kind of making me laugh with the trip mines and the way that they're going to try to do the in sequence. We saw the conga line during the Vanduul Mask. I'm just waiting to see what this conga line is going to look like now with tripwires that people are going to be placing around all over the verse, trying to troll each other. But I thought that was pretty cool. And hacking the security on the boxes, yeah, that's I like that. So.
Okay. Our Fist.
Yes. I guess like talk about the mines. When I first saw this, I was like, oh my god, let the troll mechanics come, because I can see a lot of people doing some things with these things and just in like bunkers, and you trying to do a mission. Oh man, you can forget about going to Korea now. For real.
Or Jumptown 2.
Ooh, yeah, that too. Any place that's going to have high traffic, where it's no armistice zone, yeah, it's going to be a problem. I could see that though. But this is cool. The second thing was the helmet and outfit. Oh man, that helmet is nice. I like it.
The Jade.
I'll start with the helmet. Why does it have fabric on the back?
Yeah, they kind of had like a hood, right? Like it connects down with a hood or something. I couldn't figure that out either.
Yeah, it's the 30th century. You can do anything you want.
You can. It just, I don't know. Like they like to talk about like things having a purpose, but then that has literally no purpose.
The only thing that came to mind.
Cool, so you can't even use rule cool, but cool is subjective.
The only thing that came to mind, Jay, do you remember in I think it was, and this is a far throw here, Empire Strikes Back, the soldiers that were down on the planet, the Empire guys, because of the cold, it kind of came down to prevent air from getting to them. But that was in a winter biome. And I didn't get the impression that was what this was. That was the only thing it reminded me of. So I couldn't figure out what the functionality of it was either. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, I like the locked box, loot box at the beginning. I said in chat, I really hope that we get access to those, because when we get full item persistence, I can imagine people leaving stashes of stuff for their friends or org mates. You know, if you're going to be offline. Yep, go to that forest, you know, near the outpost. Yeah, that we were at last weekend, and it'll all be in there. Like that'll be just another great addition to group gameplay or just gameplay with friends. So I think that was interesting. Also, these mining gadgets are so detailed. I can't think of another game that has made mining as like deep and detailed as Star Citizen.
Definitely not No Man's Sky.
No, but the thing is, right? Like the people always say, "Well, is it going to be fun?" You know, I'm not a miner, but I'm happy that they're, because it bodes well for all the other things that people might be interested in. If they're putting that much detail into mining, just imagine what you're interested in putting that much into.
Jade, you're not a minor. You've been over 18 for a while, haven't you?
I've been over for 18 for a while, yes.
Oh my god.
But not that kind of minor. But yeah, Fast Cart, you got the jokes, as always.
I just want to say thank you, Nomad 1701, for the 7-month subscription. Thank you.
Thank you, Nomad. Awesome. Thank you.
I gotta give credit where credit's due.
Thanks.
That was decent though, Fast Car. It was decent.
That was, see, they're getting better. Like,
no, they're not. No, they're not. Don't
egg them on.
Don't.
Comedic legend at your service.
Don't.
Are you done, Jade, or something else?
No, I guess other than that, I was just really happy that we had a very information dense sprint report. Well done before CitizenCon. You don't usually get that.
All right. So, Kavadi, are you ready, or did you want to skip you, or what?
Yes, I am ready.
Okay, go ahead.
So, I find I thought it was a really, really nice ISC. I really like the mining gadgets. I'm very curious as to how far they're going to take it. And in addition to that, since it's an aspect, quote unquote, of FPS mining, what will be their deciding criteria to decide to conclude, okay, how far, or this is the endpoint for the mining experience, and as a result, what will be their mirrored criteria for the other professions like salvaging and other professions as well. So I'm really glad to see that they fleshed out, that mining aspect. What also caught me was Jared mentioning the whole physicalized damage and the whole materials aspect for the mines and the crates. That really got me curious as to how that is going to go affect even our cargo as well, since they're going to be adding I guess the health aspects to crates. So that got me thinking. The last thing that I was curious about was that cam for the cockpit ejection, because I really like being in a first person perspective. Right, when I'm ejecting, so I'm hoping just like when you can press Alt F4, that's an option that you can enter when you're ejecting. But I'm really hoping that we keep that first person option as well. So I mean, knowing CIG, they always give us these different options. So I'm hoping that this is just an option for the cam perspective. But yeah, that's about it for me.
Pop, what are your thoughts?
First, I'd like to, just say that the terminals, glad to see they're working on those things. They were completely messed up. And I'm not going to go on it, but to reiterate what Jade and Karate said about the mining. I love the detail. And it does give us, because Jade and I've talked about this before, quite a bit into detail about exploration. I know we're in the dark on it. We don't know. But it does give you hope to say if they're going into such detail on that, hopefully that they'll go into exploration that deep. It won't be just looking for minables. It'll be the animals, plants, things in caves that maybe we
Nice.
haven't thought about. So, just
Nice.
kind of reiterating that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Spitfire, what are your thoughts?
I'm going to take a little bit of a more esoteric look at this. One of them is I'm fairly certain an organization that I am a part of is going to have a wonderful time with drunk flying. And honestly, with the asteroid minables, you too can live out your own Bruce Willis Armageddon fantasies.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Fish, do you have anything you want to say before we continue? I'm sorry, Griffin.
Griff?
Fish,
Yeah.
Oh,
Fish
yeah,
is posted.
usually I try to find something that somebody hasn't talked about, but I'm going to drift back to what a couple of folks mentioned, the lock boxes. I hope that they put freaking booby traps on them. Because when, like Jade was saying, if someone wants to leave a cache for somebody, I would love to know that if you put the wrong combination in like once or twice, you got like 15 seconds or maybe nothing. It blows up. The risk of hacking needs to be there for me. Now, sometimes they create risks in hacking where if you hack it wrong, you just can't get into it or there's a cool off period. That's cool too. But I would love for them to have something that if you try to hack something, this thing's going to blow you up and take you out if you don't get it right. The other thing is the mining piece. Dark Knight and I were talking about this a little while ago with Elite, because Elite is probably one of the games that does have a pretty, extensive aspect of mining, but this kind of brings it up to Elite level. I don't know if Dark Knight, you feel the same way.
I agree with you. I think it's pretty darn close, if not beginning to surpass.
Because Elite Elite has a way of mining in the same way where you can set off detonations to break a rock, and this is kind of like it seems to be. I'm looking at the close-up of the image right now, and I can see that it says there's an analyzer. There's several different buttons you can set, and I think you have to determine based on that rock when you put it on there, how do you want the explosive to take place? If that is what this thing is, that is so cool.
And it's so much different. So much different than what Elite did, because you could set the charges, but you're doing it from your ship.
Yeah.
You can EVA in this and go place it on the side of an asteroid. Cool. You remember when Kate when Kate did that in her video, and she was, she got out of the prospector, went up and hand mined on an asteroid. I thought that's just too cool.
Absolutely. So I'm excited as a miner. I am a miner. I'm excited about that.
I'm not going to do it again. I'm not going to say it again. My thoughts was the mining gadget was a sneak peek from like a few months ago. Anyone remember that?
Yeah, we were trying to figure out what it was, and we kind of thought it was something maybe to do with mining, but we weren't sure. Yeah, cool.
So those sneak peeks, you pay attention. You never know when they're going to come to fruition. I think instead of a jet cam, or in addition to an eject cam, we need an elevator cam for as many times as you step in the elevator and you die. Anyone agree with me on that one? No.
See what I told y'all? Now you see why I said what I said, right? You see why I said what I said, right?
Yeah.
Man, Fast Card, you gotta quit while you ahead.
Yeah.
Don't
I am feed the tigers. Just remember that. Don't feed the tigers.
That he mentioned. So that's the other thing.
Yeah.
All right. So we're halfway through. I'm going to hit enter and turn off mute first. But make sure you get some drinks and snacks, because not only do we have 9 minutes to go in this, we still got the machinima is like 13 minutes. So get some food or something to drink. All right, here we go.
Along, as Ship Showdown barrels towards its thrilling conclusion, and y'all already destroyed my bracket this year, so viva la Argo Cargo, I say. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the ships that will no doubt be competing in next year's event, like the Ares Starfighter, where the team has recently completed a sprint detailing out all of the component bays, making certain they're all labeled and animated correctly. As well as completing a pass on the landing gear that makes them feel appropriately super chunky and stout. in the words of the inimitable Ben Curtis. Of course, what you really want to see is this look at the final art stage exterior for both the Ares Ion and the Ares Inferno. And you know what? This is still work in progress. Are Crusader ships the best looking ships? Let's go for an all Crusader Final Four in next year's ship showdown. Because that means John Crew has to make my Genesis. Please. Work also continues on the Aegis Redeemer, which was recently the first recipient of a new developmental work on the glow shader, which previously didn't allow artists to turn them off when they wanted. This tended to limit the place and manner in which they could be used on ships. That's important because glows like this are made at the vehicle material layer. And while there will still be VFX layered on top of them in the final product, these underlying material glows can save on VFX particle budget when appropriate, and that means artists can use them in new ways and places where we don't necessarily want something to appear on at all the times, and maybe get some VFX performance gains along the way. Special shout out to Rob Dickinson for his work here. On the Redeemer's inside, the team continues to work on final polish all around while building their work list for final tweaks before it's go time. The team also spent a little bit of time experimenting with adding some motion aspects into the interior, but, well, let's just say some people like it, and some people don't. And we're still going to play with it, but don't be surprised if it doesn't make it into final release. A big part of development is experimentation, and it will remain to be seen if some version of Steampunk Choo Choo survives until the finish line. The EU vehicle content team is also making their way through Greybox on the Drake Vulture, the entry-level salvage ship intending to make its way into the Persistent Universe next year. Now, Greybox is mostly about experimenting with detail, either adding it to the places that work, or removing it from where it tends to get too busy, all while laying the groundwork for final art phase to begin soon after. Looking good, Vulture. From final art to Greybox, let's go back to Whitebox, where I'm proud to announce work has begun on building out the Hull A, entry-level variant of the famed Hull C from Musashi Industrial and Starflight Concern. Now in Whitebox phase, this process began by importing the recently revised 3D concept mesh into Engine and ensuring that it itself is functional. Now you might be saying, recently revised concept? Yeah, some minor changes had to be made because player and ship metrics have evolved quite a bit since it was first introduced, and important studies have shown players like to fit inside their spaceships. On the inside, in its collapsed state, it's looking very similar to the size of the Prospector players are already familiar with, complete with a cockpit in front, a component area just behind, an airlock, and then habitation in the rear of the front half. And as Whitebox work continues, the team will be evaluating space for the various components, as well as a potential reduction in CST. That's cockpit struck thickness, a malady that can strike any MISC or RSI ship at a moment's notice. And one Origin ship. But we fixed that. There's also a re-examination of bathroom space going on, as AI NPC passengers need just a little more room to do things than players. Yeah, eventually pooping AI will be on the roadmap. You can bug Jake Bradley for the win. Whitebox phase is also where we test things like landing gear position so the ship doesn't fall over, which is extra special important with the Hull A because of its expanding and contracting substructure, where timings are being adjusted, and especially the clearances, because the Hull A is intended to successfully make landing both collapsed and with its cargo racks fully extended and filled. But Disco, what about my Hull C? Well, the team has also brought the original beast out of the mothballs it's been sitting in for a while and begun to update it to modern vehicle art standards, including an updated thruster trim sheet. Nice. New headlights up front. Nice. And crucially, upgrading the materials all over with the recent hard surface shader in a comparison you can see here. May we never speak of the Ilum shader ever again. They've also gone back and added VTOL thrusters, missing from when the ship was last worked on, because while it won't be able to land fully laden like its Hull A little sibling, you can still expect to do so in its collapsed state. Inside the ship, work continues making many of the same types of upgrades to materials, signage, and general scale, including cutaways for many of the new components that have been developed since the Hull C was last worked on. Finally, Olisar is moving, but only a little bit. Now that Crusader is fully integrated into the Stanton system, Olisar kind of stood out because it was the only major planetary station not in geosynchronous orbit over its landing zone, so it's being moved over to the left a little. And the views have never been better. So what did we learn this week? Well, we learned that exploring derelicts are about to become a lot more interesting and dangerous with the addition of laser trip mines. That Theta Geo will unlock the maximum potential of this already talented and amazing character art team. That you probably really shouldn't drink and fly. And that work on the upcoming cargo refactor means that it's finally time to turn the Eye of Development Sauron back to the Hull series. Don't forget Digital Citizen Con is coming up on October 9th, and I'm not allowed to tell you what's in it. So, just look at my face. For Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee. We'll see you all next week.
Alright, so let's just start in the middle here. So, face to face, what did you guys see in Jared's face at the end? Did you see anything? Did you see anything that was revealed?
I really want to pay attention.
And let me say something real quick. Mad Styles, thank you for the
Hi,
5
all.
subs. We appreciate that as always. Thank you.
Oh, thank you for that.
You.
No, but go ahead, face to face. What are your thoughts on the last half of the ISC?
I got one thought, and I'm gonna keep it short. I had to say about that the Hall C. Yeah. Baby got thrusters. I like.
And you cannot lie?
That's it. That's it. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Jade, what are your thoughts?
Oh wow. Wow. Like I'm very much looking forward to the whole C. Finally, we've been shown it in various stages of development over, I guess, 4 years, 2018, 2017. So yeah, it's going to be great to see it finally in the game. And wow, that view of Olisar near Crusader. Like, I've been looking forward to that. I was hoping they'd move it, but we never heard anything about it. And it was an anomaly. And hopefully this, like I said, puts to rest the rumor that keeps going around that they're going to get rid of Olisar. Port Olisar is in lore, and it's on the ArcStar map. They're not going to get rid of it. They're going to replace it with a more up-to-date tech version of it. But Olisar is going to be forever. So, yeah. That's all.
Take it away. All right. Colorado, you're up next. What are your thoughts on the last half of the ISC?
I was so attracted to them talking about the Hull series, particularly because of the cargo refactor. I'm very, very curious to see, and I'm not expecting, right? But I'm hoping to see some kind of demonstration on the use of one of the Hull ships at CitizenCon with regards to how it interacts with the cargo and everything. If how it actually looks and how players may think about using these Hull ships for loading and unloading cargo when we get these ships. So yeah, that's it. That was the main aspect for me. Yeah.
When you say loading, unloading cargo, do you mean like a specific area, like a red zone or a white zone?
So I would say yes. So my main curiosity about it was that, for instance, let's say currently, right, the tractor mechanic allows us to pick up and move and displace a particular object, but we don't necessarily have the ability to rotate or we don't actually have that ability to rotate it, right? So how does the cargo refactor, as it interacts with the hull chips, allow us to really load and unload the cargo? Because, for instance, we know when it's expanded, those cargo boxes won't be there. So will we have the ability to rotate it, and how would that affect the cargo refactor as it relates to attaching those cargo boxes to the hull chips? For instance, are they going to be using some aspect of code that they use for docking, where at a certain point where the cargo comes closer to the hull chips, does it reorient itself automatically, or is it that we'll have to do that ourselves as we interact with the hull chips? So that's just something that I'm really, really curious to see what how they're going to approach that.
In response to that, real quick, if you don't mind.
Yep.
They've said that eventually we can choose to do the cargo ourselves or have an NPC do it.
Right.
Orient it whatever particular way.
Right. Yeah. I remember that. Thanks.
There could be costs associated to that.
Oh yeah. I'm not expecting an NPC to rock up and be like, "Yo, homie, do that for me for free, please."
I expect the NPC to load it with Argos.
I don't know. I don't know.
No,
I'm expecting
yeah.
NPCs to come into my ship and offer to wash the windshield for me sometime. So who knows?
I have a hull D, and I expect that thing to take at least 1 or 2 hours to unload that. And when you think about an E, that's going to even be like triple.
I was about to actually wonder about that. The loading and unloading time. So yeah, that's a good pointer.
And they can also factor in cost can be a factor, right?
Yeah.
The more money you want to drop, the faster you unload. Less money you drop, longer you wait for unload.
Well, how many Argos do you want to have do it? Yeah.
Right. I'm saying just like how we do with refining right now. Refining, you can say, hey, 24 hours, I get more money out of the deal. 5 hours, I get less money out of the deal. They can,
I got 5 interns that can drive these Argos and unload your ship.
All right, so that was Colorado, right?
Yep, that's me.
Okay, Pops, what are your thoughts?
I enjoyed seeing the white box and gray box going through. I enjoy the imagination with the steampunk on the Redeemer. And did anybody else know, or maybe what I'm asking is, on the Hull C, when they added the new textures, anybody notice the torrents that were there? Yeah, was that turrets always there?
The turrets in the front under the turrets under the front of the ship?
No, on the top.
On top.
On the top.
Yes, they had one there, I believe.
There's 3 in the new one.
2.
I think there's 3. There's one in the back, and there's 2 up on the front hump. Well, at least one looked like one. It looked like maybe one.
Okay.
I don't know. I'd have to go back and look at it.
It's coming up pretty soon.
If you want me to find it.
Yeah, go to the whole
scene. It'll come around.
If they were there before, did they add those to them just recently?
I thought it had 3. The whole C, I thought always had 3 turrets. I thought, but I could be wrong.
I forgot.
Yeah, I thought it did, but I could be wrong.
That's what I'm.
You'll see it when it comes back around. You'll see when the textures come. You'll see the 2 of them. The 2 that I could notice that they'll pop in. Just curious about that.
That it should be coming soon. But while we're waiting for that, Spitfire, what are your thoughts?
Okay, I'm
sorry.
I'm gonna iterate.
Oh yeah, no, that's it.
Okay.
I'm gonna say about the Hull C again. I really love that ship. Okay, but here's the thing: it suffers from the same thing that makes me hate the Freelancer series. It's that stupid tiny windscreen. I hate that windscreen.
But I don't think it's that prominent on the hull because the whole C is so big.
Right there, Fastcar.
Yep, see, it's 2.
No, I know. I'm saying if I'm flying this monstrous ship in its fully extended form, I would at least like to see fairly well where I'm going.
Alright. So I paused it. Yeah, it had 1, 2, 3. And
Right.
There's
something
one
on
in
the
the
bottom,
back,
right?
and there's 2 towards the front, right?
Right.
Isn't that 2
Yeah.
separate
Yeah,
turrets
2 in
on
the
the
front,
front?
1 in the back. And I think there's something underneath, isn't it?
Probably.
Or that the other.
Might be. Yeah.
You have to go back and look at the images on it and see the original.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if they added, did they add in more stations on the inside?
So apparently, I think there are
that
4
one.
turrets in total when you check
Is
in
it
the
4?
technical overview. Yeah.
Right.
To be-
You watch it change.
To be
Definitely
completely
changed.
honest,
They
though,
definitely added a turret. You're right.
Yeah.
Between the old
to
and new.
sum up what I was saying, though, honestly, I'm really looking forward to that. I really want to see more. I've always liked the whole series from afar, stuff like that. I'm really hoping that we get some good stuff with it. I don't know how soon that the full cargo implementation is going to be iterated on. That's about it.
Okay.
I think within the next, I'm being really liberal with this, at least the next 2 years, but that's just my guess.
Okay. Alright. I'm a Kusanagi. What are your thoughts?
The Hull A is getting a big upgrade. Almost, well, from looking at those 3D maps, those size comparison charts, if you look at that, the ship is way smaller compared to the Prospector. So, and of course, that's just based off of the geometry that they gave at the time. But I mean, clearly they had to expand it here. So, I mean, it's potentially up to, I'm not going to say twice as big, but it's certainly a lot bigger. And so potentially, I mean, and I think originally the B was closer to the front end of the Prospector. So if that's what happened there, maybe the B is going to be even bigger than it was originally planned as well.
I think so. I think so.
So yeah, I will say that they show like, oh, the lights on the sea, and they kind of like have them glow. I'm like, those are actually the retro thrusters, so not lights. But that's all I got. I mean, the rest of it's cool. I'm looking forward to the Ion.
Yeah.
Just the Ion, not Ares as a whole.
Well, yeah, the whole series is cool. I like the black version better. I got the white just because I don't know, because I'm stupid. And then I do not like the pumping action on the whatever that thing is. That the Redeemer? Those
the Redeemer. Yeah, those Redeemer.
Yeah, those little pumps are kind of, I don't understand that. Just take them out.
Okay. Dark Knight, you're up.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna go too long because a lot of what was mentioned I agree with. The hull looks great and whatnot. I'm. It's kind of cool that they were able to keep the style in the update similar to what they had in the concept, especially from the front end of the Hull C. So it really did kind of stay true to the original, which was really nice. Of course, it's going to bulk up in size, like they said, because of mechanics and the scale of player. But that's to be expected. But really, the only thing I would add is I saw a couple people asking in the chat, and then. And you brought it up actually, Fast Carter, about how large the ship is and being able to maneuver it. I would imagine that you're not going to be maneuvering the ship by yourself. I would imagine you probably have a stern and an aft, or a bow and a stern pilots who would be able to navigate the thrusters to bring that large thing in. And spotters, because it's too big. It would be too big for one person to be able to just dock by themselves. And then also loading and unloading. Yeah, it's going to be 90% NPC is going to be loading your ship. I would beg to, maybe you'll get some of your mates to load it to come and help out. You're going to need NPCs, from the station helping load that ship, because your friends aren't going to load 99,000 SCU. How many SCU of cargoes can the hull hold?
The whole series is 98,304 is the E.
for the whole C.
No,
And
the
you're
whole,
gonna have
the whole E is 98,304.
Oh, okay. So the whole C is probably what, half that?
And that number may be based on the old freight units. I'm not sure if they updated
Right.
it to the SCU.
Right, exactly.
Whole C is
And
4,600.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. And so there'll be, one, the boxes got to be loaded into the containers, then the containers got to be loaded onto the ship. You're not going to do that all by yourself. It'll take you weeks to load a whole C with 4 of your buddies. So you're going to need help. And then you're going to need cargo drivers for those cargoes that are going to be hauling those boxes to the ship itself. I don't remember who mentioned it. But you can see that the detachment for that cargo section on the Argo cargo, I'm sure that they could be detached in a container from the Hull C, or any of the Hull series can be attached to that Argo to bring it to the station or down to the surface.
Okay.
That's it.
Thank you. GoMap and Raytheon, we had two people just join us. Raytheon, thank you for telling me to move you down, because you were in the Star Citizen channel on Discord. I wasn't sure if you wanted to be moved down or not.
I sent him a message. I sent him a message to ask him if he wanted to come down. So we got him.
So thank you. But let's go now to the medical order, though. GoMap, what are your thoughts first?
Yeah, well, just to go off of what Dark Knight was saying, yeah, I definitely think it's all going to be NPC loaded. I'm consistent with my thoughts that the whole series is going to bring in a different gameplay, which is going to focus more around freight than cargo running. Just because the logistics behind it. But for any of us that have been around this game for any amount of time, I don't put anything past Mr. Roberts and saying, hey, we want to make it as realistic as possible. If you want to load this thing up, you either going to have to pay dearly to NPCs to do it, so you have to factor that into your operating costs, or you're going to have to do it manually. So, see.
Okay, Raytheon said he got kicked out, but he's still
back.
here.
Yeah, Raytheon, you still here, bud? Okay, he might have stepped away for a minute.
All right. So let me go first real quick. My thoughts on the last half. The landing gear, and no one commented on that, but I thought the landing gear looked good. It was like
yeah, a lot of detail, magic
almost. And I don't own an Ares, but I am interested in the series and the ship. I may get one in game, but that'll be a while. But I'm not gonna buy one for the
I just hope the Ares series flies well, right? I'm okay if they slow down the projectile. If they make the projectiles really slow in order to balance them out, and so that they're not overpowered in PvP against smaller craft, then that's fine. If they say, hey, look, the projectiles are really powerful, they do a lot of damage, but they're super slow, so that they're best for hitting larger ships like a Carrack or 890 or an Idris or a Javelin, right? I just hope they just don't nerf it, nerf their flight characteristics, because they look really similar to MSR.
The manufacturer seems pretty solid when it comes to flight, so I don't see them nerfing the flight for those two. That's just me, though. And also, she said I love the dig that Elite Dangerous he took for sitting inside ships. I noticed that. Also, he mentioned that they had a bug and it was in one Origin ship. This is why we can't have nice things. Thanks, Origin. All right, Raytheon, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
What are your thoughts?
How's it going? I was thinking they showed a lot of the component slots where you can put, with physicalized components and inventory coming up, we may be able to start doing engineering work, fixing and repairing all of our components, or changing them out from the outside or inside of the ship on the fly.
Okay.
I know a lot of people that are into that engineering and are waiting just for that.
Griffin was AFK while I was making my origin dig. But what are your thoughts, Griffin?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Well, speaking of Origin, I would probably say if I wasn't an Origin person, I would definitely be a Crusader person. The Ares and the Inferno look beautiful. What they showed us there, it's gone expanded even beyond what was there when we first saw it in concept. No, I don't own them. No, those fighters are not ships that I would fall into the category of what I would want to do. But I think they're beautiful ships, and I'm really curious to see with those size 7s, how CIG is going to balance them out. And I know they will, but I was really impressed with them. The other thing is the Hull series. Something that Disco referenced is the fact that just like the Starfarer, this was another one of those ships that was before all the metrics were put in place. And I think DK or someone mentioned about the fact that the ship is growing in size. And so it's going to be interesting to see how all of these Hull series ships adjust in their size, because they are on the concept, they're fairly small. The A and B are. But if the metrics have to grow to fit human or the physicality of our bodies being in them, and of course the components and everything else, then these ships are going to get bigger than they already were. And as you guys know, the Hull E is one of the biggest ships in the game. So it'll be interesting to see how they form up. But I'm excited about them. Now, to the point that I think Spitfire mentioned earlier about cargo, I'm going to say that I think that it's going to be much sooner than that for several reasons. One, I think that cargo freight is, as GoMab would call it, is actually going to be one of the next areas that they expand into. I think medical and freight were the two things I think that they're going to go into. One, because they've been placing the cargo stations have been in the stations now for quite a while, but they're not being used. Some of you all saw on Horizon that the cargo station there is actually functional, where there's a tram that goes around and we see those cargo freights being moved. And so I think that in order for the economy to kick in, you got to have something to sell and buy. And so to me, cargo is going to be really like around the corner for us to be able to make money. Without it, bringing in quanta and stuff is okay. But if you got things to sell, particularly in bulk and in large numbers, then I think that freight and cargo are going to be one of the next things that they step up to, with the Hull A coming out, the C coming out the C's coming out this year, the A's coming out first quarter of next year. That gives us the first testing ground of being able to move large freight in the game. And also the fact that we're going to have our hangars available to us now, our personalized hangars to store, as well as the cargo areas to store. So I'm looking forward to cargo booming, hopefully within the next year.
New Jump Town 2 should bring cargo back to some kind of a focus, because they have to in order for people to want to participate. Sorry.
And also, Griff, when I said about the 2 years, that was basically me being incredibly liberal with my estimate. If I was honestly being completely honest with what I think we're going to see it in probably 2022.
Okay.
About, I would say, mid 2022 is what I'd bet.
All righty.
All right. I just want to repeat. I just want to say, Reload, thank you for the subscription. Full mind, appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Reload. Thank you. The next thing we're going to do. No, we're going to keep moving because we got a lot to do with this other video. We're gonna be showing a video that we were actually supposed to show 2 weeks ago, and I owe Pops in Fist to Face a big apology. We did a show a couple weeks ago on PvP, and they had contacted me and as well as the folks over at Mongrel Squad and asked if they could put together a video. As you guys know, sometimes New Soul will put together a video exclusively for us to kind of bridge into the context of our show. And that show was on PvP. So they put a lot of good work in, and it's a great video, but we didn't show it that night. So I'm hoping that we can show it to you guys tonight and you can enjoy it. And definitely, did you guys put this up for voting? Is it on the RSI site?
No, we didn't.
This one didn't? Okay. But what we will do is put a link in for you guys to check them out. Make sure you go see them and upvote them, because as always, they do great work with both their video editing as well as their music composition. So yeah, why don't we jump into that? Fast Car kind of opened the show up with the music a little bit, but you get to see the full video right now, and it's very, very cool. And then after that, we're going to look at a really cool machinima. So enjoy this.
Not quite. World premiere.
Universe premiere.
Universe premiere.
Oh my god! Okay, shot him in the face with a railgun. He's dead.
Booyah.
Ooh.
It's definitely a head bobber. I'll give it that. It's a head bobber for sure.
Booyah, booyah. So we want to tell you guys, thank you guys so much for that. Listen, if you guys want to get a video made from some footage you have for your org, I would definitely highly recommend the guys at New Soul. Pops and Fist to Face, you guys reach out to them. Guys, tell them how they can find you all.
Right here.
If they want to contact you, how should they contact you? What's the best way to reach out to you?
Oh, wow.
An email or something like that they can write to you, or some way to reach you?
Oh, okay. Wasn't prepared for that, but we'll think. We'll put our heads together, and we'll definitely let you know how to, do that. And I want to say one other thing too. You can't leave out Jade. Jade is a part of the team.
Oh, that's right. I forgot Jade is the new member of the team.
Yeah,
right.
new member, New Soul. But yeah,
she's the baby of the bunch.
All right. Awesome.
Yeah, she brings a lot to the table.
Well, they're a killer trio. You guys
grateful to have her.
Yeah, you guys are a killer trio, and thank you guys for all that you all do. We still use their theme for our show, so they always put some great funky music together. So we're gonna have a way for you all to contact them next time we come together. So they'll be ready for you next time. All right, you got a link for them?
There you go.
So
That's our Discord.
give it to me in Discord.
Yeah, send it to fast. Yeah, send it to Fast Court, and then he'll put it out there for you. Okay.
I think it posted. It posted. I think I was able to post it.
No,
it came up as 3 stars.
It's not going to post. No,
Yeah,
you got to send it.
I thought that was disabled, but I guess it came back. But I just want to thank Mad Dog. Thank you for the 5 subs.
Wow.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Mad Dog.
Mad Style, thank you again.
Yeah, can I say one more thing? I'm sorry to interrupt.
Sure.
I just want to kind of give the People's Radio a shout out. They're coming back, and be on the lookout for that, and I'm quite sure we'll.
October 3rd, and we're coming back with something brand new.
Well, you all need to come up with a promo. Come up with a promo so we can put it out that week. Okay.
We're working on it. Puffs and Fist and I are definitely working on it. It's going to be. Cool. It's going to be fresh. It's going to be nice, and we may be sponsoring the Daymar Rally as well. So.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Well, we'll definitely run the promo. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, we're going to hit our machinima for tonight. This one is one that we just stumbled across. It just came out just a couple days ago. A few weeks ago, we showed you all the preview teaser for this called Adrift. And you might remember it. It was with a daughter and a father. They were out mining, and it looked like it was going to be really interesting. Well, they released episode 1 for it just the other day. And so we are going to watch it. It's a little lengthy, not very long, but very enjoyable. And I like this one even better than the one we watched last week. So, are you ready, Fast Cart?
Yep.
All right, here we go with Adrift.
Warning, suit malfunction. Warning, suit malfunction. Warning, suit malfunction. Stabilizers malfunction. Stabilizers malfunction. Thrusters malfunction. Warning, heart rate above suitable levels. Unable to divert power to life support. Warning, unable to divert power to life support. Initiating system restart. I'm sorry, Dad.
This place. Darkness falls right into you. It never leaves a trace. Let's go, bro. Come on, girl. Yeah. This is your part. Fighting. You know it.
You are killing me.
What? You like this song?
Yeah, I like it when they sing it.
I sing just like them.
No. And it's all you sing, this song. This song is it.
All right. I won't sing.
Oh my God.
Oh, it's good. Whoa, Pearl, throttle back.
This is faster. It'll cool down. It's fine.
I said pull it back. Now. Thank you. Can we at least pay for this ship before you blow it up?
At this rate, I'll never get to blow it up.
Ha ha, hardy har, aren't you hilarious?
I can't do this forever, Dad.
I know. Hey, that's my girl. Now let's vacuum up and get on to the next one.
At least I have an old windbag to keep me company.
Hey, Pearl. Shh.
What?
Clear the comms.
You hear that?
Gross!
That's teriyaki.
Hey guys, my scan shows some hadronite on this surface.
Yeah? That's great.
Yeah, I'm going to hand extract.
I'll do it. You need a break.
What? No, you're up there in what? Your underwear just drinking hooch or something and just singing away?
Wait, we have hooch?
I'm all geared up. I got it.
Hey, Pearl. You see the Sturtevant Nebula from there? It's brighter than normal.
Absolutely beautiful.
Beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, that's real special. Oh shit. Oh shit.
Good morning, sunshine. While we wait for tea, can you please tell me why you had your beam cranked so high? Can you tell me why you ignore every safety protocol? Perhaps explain me why you don't just kill me now and save me the heart attack.
We've experienced a critical rupture. Rapidly depressurizing.
Distress signal?
Don't have much time. Mayday.
It's not far. Just outside the asteroid belt, less than an hour.
You'd better bill them for our time.
Who raised you?
Quantum trap. Engage.
Look at that.
Whoa.
Ship, Starfarer, manufacturer, Musashi Industrial and Starflight Concern. Name, Hermes. Not listed in the Interplanetary Ship Registry.
Smugglers.
Illegal goods.
This may get interesting.
Please let this be interesting.
You ready to suit up? Pearl? Here we go.
Scorch marks. Hull is blown to hell. This was no accident. Pirates, maybe.
Think there's any survivors?
Someone had to send that distress call.
Let's go see.
Wait.
Ted, come on.
Nah, you know better.
Eyes open, clear ahead. Use what you got, or end up dead.
Ready?
Let's go, dork.
Oxygen level at 60%. Oxygen.
Where is the crew?
So, if I get this thing started, do I get to keep it? I know how to weld.
Honey, Jesus Christ couldn't resurrect this mess.
Well, he was a carpenter. I'm a mechanic. Imagine me running trades in this bad boy. Ah!
And there's the first body. I'm on it. Wait, this guy's alive.
What?
He's breathing, but barely. His oxygen suit levels are out of whack and his power readings are almost zero. If I get him back to the Virginia fast, there's a chance I could stabilize him. You should come with me.
Someone needs to keep looking for survivors, and you know the medical stuff.
How's your oxygen? You were mining for a while.
I'm at like 80%.
Like 80%?
80%, alright? I'm good.
Fine. But you check the crew quarters, then get your ass back to the ship. Am I clear?
Crystal.
Contents: Purport, an experimental drug for nervous system conditions. Currently illegal in some systems. Approximate value: 200,000 UEC.
Holy.
You're in the cargo bay, aren't you?
No! Yes. I was looking for...
Survivors?
Yes, of course. What?
Now?
There could be survivors in the cargo bay.
Are there?
No.
Crew quarters, stat.
Hey, Dad. Still no bodies, but none of the escape pods have been ejected. This guy couldn't have been flying a rig this size alone, right?
It's an undocumented ship. It's not like he was following fleet protocol.
And how is he?
Stable, still unconscious.
I think he'll be fine. What about you? How's your O2 level?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Hey, Pearl.
Yeah?
You want me to sing you a song?
No. No, don't you dare. Ah! Okay. I will hurry, I promise. I will hurry if you just shut up. Never leaves. Thank you. Hey, Dad, I'm seeing scorch marks coming from inside the hole. Oh, Dad! They're dead, they're here, all of them, they're here! Dad? Dad, can you hear me? Dad! Can you hear me? Wait, Dad! Can you hear me? Dad!
Warning, thrusters malfunction. Thrusters malfunction. Stabilizers malfunction. Stabilizers malfunction. Warning, suit malfunction. Warning, suit malfunction.
Part 1?
Yes, please.
I think it's all credits from here now.
Yeah, it's all credits from here.
Okay.
Amazing story, but the real miracle here was somebody being able to actually navigate a Starfarer.
Well, it was broken in half, so they had only half to deal with.
Let's since Spitfire just jumped in here, Pops, what'd you think?
Shit. Wow. Sorry. Excuse me for that. Sorry. I apologize, everybody. Well, I don't even know where to begin. That was that. Wow. Okay, I'm done.
Okay. He liked it. Okay.
Yeah.
Roddy, what about you? Oh, did we lose Cal Roddy? Maybe we lost him.
No, I am here. Sorry about that.
He fell asleep on it. He was bored.
No. So I was trying to think about the words because I was planning on watching this series called The Haunting of Bly Manor
Mm.
after the stream, and I think that ending for that machinima was enough for me tonight because it had me so captivated. So pulled in. I loved the pacing. I loved the choreography. I loved especially how they filmed the two not exit but enter quantum animations. I really liked the story progression as well, and I'm very excited to know more. I'm really excited to know more.
Okay, cool. Jade, what about you?
Well, I was speechless when this ended. I mean, this is a sci-fi short. Forget that it's done in Star Citizen. This is a sci-fi short done spectacularly well in terms of story, in terms of setting, in terms of suspense. It's almost like sci-fi horror in a way. And there's so much in this. Like it's done so well. The acting is done so well. The FOIP. I mean, you know, this is the dream. This is why we have FOIP. People, well, why do we have FOIP? This is why we have FOIP, right? There's going to be people who make whole movies in here, and this series, I believe, could actually win. I forget what the award is called, but if you ever go on a YouTube sci-fi short channel called Dust, there's this is better than like at least 60-70% of the things that are on Dust. So I would not be shocked if you know, if they decided, if they wanted to give a good run at that award, they could do it with nothing more than the Star Citizen game.
Okay, cool. Go Map.
I swear these machinimas just get better and better. You know, I just think as people are getting more and more attuned to the tools, you know, no limits to the stories that can be told. You know, the sky's the limit in a sense, right? You know, it's all about your imagination and how can it translate into your medium. And you know, I swear, you know, the last one we watched was amazing, and this one is just, you know, it just raises the bar just a little bit more. It's just, you know, I said it last time. I can't wait to see what will happen when normal people, creators, are able to, or if they're able to ever get access to the tools that CIG has in order to make their cinematic. You know,
Go
like
mad. Go mad
again.
These people ain't normal. They're not normal.
Well, no. When I say normal people, I mean
everyday kind of thing is what.
Yeah, consumers, non-CIG employees that are tasked with, you know, making cinematics for the
People
game.
who don't have to worry about NDAs.
Right.
That's cool. That's a good point.
You know, I mean, I just, you know, just to think as to, you know, what can
the possibilities of it. Huh?
Yeah, what could be made once they get a hold of this. That's just mind-boggling almost.
Yeah, that's cool.
These people are superheroes, man.
Fist, what do you think?
No, they're just talented. They're very talented.
Yes. Yeah.
Man, this one I had to say, because last time when we like Gomab said, the last one we saw, I spoke and said, "Damn, this is the best machinima I've ever seen out of all of them." This one made me forgot about that one. I was, and to me, excuse me, I'm not really a horror fan because horror movies really generally kind of like irk me. Except for sci-fi horror, you know, I can have tolerance, and this one was actually very well done.
Okay.
I'm glued to my seat and to the screen as well. I want to know.
Okay. Good. Dark
I
Knight.
like suspense horror. I don't like jump scare horror.
Yeah, you know, but that's usually sci-fi though. Like sci-fi horror is usually that suspense, and they did very good.
Okay. Dark Knight.
Yeah, so we saw the trailer last week, right, for this?
Couple weeks ago.
Couple weeks ago. And I think I said it then, and I'll say it again, that these guys are professional. I would like to add that it is very obvious that they have special effects experience. They have music experience. I can tell the music was written specifically for this film. It was, I would say that this film probably costs a lot more money to make than we think it does because of the amount of time, the amount of equipment that was put in, the amount of computer work that was done. There is there's a lot of special effects work that was done on top of the Star Citizen thing. The second thing that's also
they had to buy a prospector.
well, no, no, it comes down to timing and making things are done right. The only way that they can get this kind of smoothness is either CIG gave them a server, or they got a hold of a server and took it all over on their own to make sure nobody else got on it. I'm dead serious. That's the only way they would have been able to get these kinds of shots. This took a lot of planning. This took a lot of time. I would imagine that this thing probably took the better part of 6 months to a year, with all of the editing and everything that goes into it, the music creation, the writing the script, the edit, the visual effects, everything. These are professionals, and just like Jade said, these guys have a platform. They're filmmakers that have a platform. They're not players that are making a film. They're filmmakers that have a platform to work with. And easily, like she said, Dust, I can see them going on to Dust and putting more content out there. I can't wait for the next episode. I really can't.
Let me jump in with what you said though, DK, because like if I noticed though, like when you're talking about getting a server, and shout out to CIG for this though, because where they are, if you look at their location, they are kind of like near Starfair wreckage. And I noticed for me in my performance, I've been getting like 50 to 60 frames per second in a full server.
This definitely wasn't done in a full server.
Well, no, but I think the point of what he's saying is that because of the location where they recorded it, it's a lot easier to get better performance out in space where there's nothing around them other than them and their mole. Notice that even when they were doing the asteroid mining, it wasn't in one of those dense areas where there's like, thousands of asteroids.
Right.
So they may have just been smart about, like you said, when to get on, like you said, and making sure that they could get the best performance, like you said, DK, out of being able to, because it's definitely smooth. I mean, I'm sure the computers are good as well as
they're running top end computers, top end cameras in order to get that kind of motion capture with your facial expressions like that. Those cameras are very high quality. Good job.
I'm just I don't know if they met any griefers, but oh man, I'm just thankful.
No, it's good stuff.
Yeah, when you're way out in like the Aaron Halo or the griefers, they go toward the people, right? They're not looking for you out in the Aaron Halo or at a Starfair wreck. They're out trolling people at Al-Azhar,
Yeah. But this shot was done next to a moon or planet, as you can see.
Yeah, I think that is that's either, I think that might be Ida.
Could be
around Hurston.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
Admiral Kusanagi, thoughts?
It's fantastic.
You're one of the people who saw this with me the same day. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, the whole thing. It's kind of funny. Like you got the daughter / we'll just say a child of a parent, and they're like, yeah, okay, sure, Dad. I got 80% oxygen, and they're just trying to like, oh God, stop singing, please. It's like driving with your parents in the car or something like that. And it's just so well done, and the whole aspect of like, oh, I can make really, I could take these boxes of illegal drugs and get my own ship and get away from my father. It's kind of that whole mindset. Probably, it was just it was great, and it'll be good to see the next episode. So,
yeah, I want to know what happened, sir.
FC.
I'll just start with the writing is amazing. I mean, everyone's going on about the effects and the camera shots, the dialogue and the conversation. Like I can imagine real father-daughter having conversations like that doing work. And I just gotta say, Star Citizen is a scam. Take a look at this trailer. Tell me Star Citizen. Tell me Star Citizen.
It's a scam, Fastcar. It is. Yeah, I know this. Yep.
And I cannot remember the last time. What was that?
I was just joking. Pretty good for a tech demo.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I cannot remember the last time that Machinima maybe gave me a jump scare.
Yeah.
Because normally I try not to watch Machinima before the show because I want to see everything fresh. I saw like the first couple of minutes of this, and I was not expecting the rest of what occurred to occur. So bravo to them. And that 13 minutes, it went fast. I was like,
yeah.
That's all?
Yeah. It definitely left you in a cliffhanger. I'm my wrap on it will be that I agree with everything everyone said, but particularly sound design for this one. Sometimes there's a little bit too much or too little, and I think with this, everything was just right. The writing was just right, effects were just right, music was just right, dialogue was great. The actors, I think, if those are just players as actors, they're players who do acting because the chemistry was there between them with the dialogue. And you can write great dialogue, but you also have to be able to deliver great dialogue. The camera shots were set up well. And the other thing that I'm always amazed at are when people who do machinima with Star Citizen are able to take the limitations of the game and not let you know their limitations. For example, when she went into the Star Fair and she said, none of the escape capsules have been launched. Well, we know they don't work. Right? But the fact that they use that as the way of, furthering the story, and it's not something that inhibits them, the fact that they actually incorporate that into it, and you don't even think about it. You do think like, oh, wow, they didn't use them. I love when people are able to use, even though the full functionality of some dynamics in the game aren't there, they're able to go past that and you don't even realize it. So, like as everybody said, great video, great machinima. Kudos to the writers, and check them out. You guys see them, go over and check them out. We'll put the link in for you. We've already put it in, but it's really, really good stuff. Okay.
I was trying to work the show, so I didn't get a chance to look at the credit. There were quite a few people on this credit at the end. So,
yes. Absolutely. And they've got a site there, adriftseries.com. So you all check them out and give them some thumbs up on their YouTube because it's a really, really good. And this just came out within the last 48 hours, I think. So check it out when you got time.
If it's not on, is this on, not Spectrum, but is it on the Community Hub?
I don't know because literally as of yesterday, it was just less than 48 hours old and I hadn't even gone and looked, to be honest with you, Jade. So hopefully it'll be on there.
Everybody, if you like this, if they post it on the Community Hub, vote it up so they can win an MVP because they deserve one.
Yeah, I did. I thought I did upvoted it. I'll give it an upvote on YouTube video. So yeah, there you go. Okay.
Definitely cool.
So closing out now. Just want to say, you got CitizenCon in 2 weeks, people.
2 weeks
before CitizenCon, so look forward
so
to some
excited.
Good stuff. Pretty soon we're going to be a few of us are going to be on Table of Horrors for a Star Trek Adventure role playing show. So as soon as we get the dates and everything nailed down for that, we'll let everyone know. I mean, there's something special going on for CitizenCon. We're not prepared to say more than that at the moment, so stay tuned for that also. I just want to say we're selling merch. We're selling T-shirt, mug, gamepad, and I don't know why I forgot about this, but we also sell hats, people. We have hats on the merchandise store. So, if you feel like you want to support it, please purchase our merch. We're also on Patreon, and we're on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. So you can check out the link down below if you want to follow us there.
OnlyFans coming soon.
Oh God!
You're a bit late.
Fast cart.
It's all pictures of Fast Cart.
Things I do for $5. No. So I just want to say thank you for everyone for watching, and peace, love,
whoa! You didn't introduce Sunday show. Sunday show. Oh my God! How could you forget to promote Sunday show? Do you have the card for it?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
It's up there.
Is it? All right.
Yeah, so we claim it for this week, Sunday, 8 p.m. Oh, I forgot to check to see who's going to be on. I think it's me, Griffin, and...
It's Love Machine, and I forget who the other person is. Oh, Dig That, I think. Dig That.
Dig That, okay.
If I'm not mistaken, yeah. So this is a continuation in our Industrial Strength series. For those of you who like big ships, we're going to be talking about the Reclaimer. Salvage is not far away, and hopefully the big chomper will come to life in an even bigger way in the game. So we're going to be talking about this week. And if you like Alien, make sure you come Sunday. 8 p.m.
And I also
Eastern.
forgot to thank everyone who joined us today. We have Admiral Kuchinagi, Dark Knight, Fifth Space, Golab, Jade, Karate, and Pop Space. And of course, my lovely co-host here, Griffin Gaming. So appreciate y'all stopping by today.
Yes, we always do. And we appreciate you guys hanging out with us. For those of you who followed and subbed today, thank you all too. We appreciate you as well. And we're ready to go. We're going to be rating Javier Saviero tonight.
Send him my love. T7 soul.
Have a good night, gang.